Hey everyone, welcome to the Simply Incredible podcast. I am Daryl, aka The D, here with Troy Champney.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Special guest, all the way from Untamed Worlds, almost 100 feet from here?
Door and a half over.
Door and a half over. Chris Garbee.
Hello, everybody. Good to be here.
It's like, wait, did I say Garbee right?
Yes, Garbee is right.
Yeah. And we're going to be discussing a few things amongst, will be Comicon coming up.
Hey, before we move on, let me tell you, I tell all my, high school friends, they always knew me, as the guy, the martial art guy, and the comic book guy. Mm-hmm. So when I tell them, hey, what are you doing, man? Well, I got a school now. It's like, oh, man, that's fantastic. I was like, you know what's even cooler? Right next door, one door over, is my comic shop that I get my comics from now. And they're like, the comic shop is next door to the martial arts school. It's like, man, it is good to be the king.
It's a match made in heaven.
That is great, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I thought the match made in heaven was when we had the martial arts school right beside Gold's Gym.
That was awesome.
Yeah, but I feel upgraded now. They can just
I do
comic
too.
books right there. I don't feel like working out twice a day anymore.
Oh, dude, man.
So we got that set.
Well, isn't getting up in the morning working out?
Oh, dude.
Not in the morning. Hey, I'm lucky to do it late in the afternoon.
I did that in the military. That's when they had us wake up and we did PT. And I promised myself, if I had a choice for the rest of my life, that would not be a part of my life. Yeah. And now I might have to start doing it. I have zero time.
Yep, in the evenings, yeah.
In the evenings, because as soon as I finish concrete, I come right over to the school.
Work.
Yeah. I remember when I used to teach the kids, they were all like, I can't wait to be an adult. Shh. Like in, what was it, Billy Madison?
Yeah.
Shut your mouth. Stay young forever.
You have no idea.
Well, I was an early adult. I started my business at 14.
Yeah, just like my brother.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I worked hard. And believe me, I liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the money. I had a lot of money I could play with. And, of course, I use it to buy comic books.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Reinvest.
But now, thinking back on it, I kind of wish I would have enjoyed it a little bit more as a youngster, because it's
you don't get that kind of freedom option ever again.
Yep.
It's a grind. Every day's a grind.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So where do you want to start? Like some of the Netflix stuff?
That sounds like a winner.
Because we were talking about some of that a few minutes ago,
dude.
Before we got on. I was like, no, let's save this.
We got to save Stranger Things for Peasy.
Yeah.
But let's put out a little teaser for it. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it.
Yeah, highly recommend.
Yeah, that is something I'm going to have to pick up and watch.
Yeah, it's Netflix, so you can stream it.
Yeah.
And it's only 13 episodes. It's not a ton.
That's the number they always put out for everything, 13.
Yeah.
Which I find is really weird to me. Everything is 13 on them.
Well, a whole lot of main programs, your main networks, they do 26.
Yeah.
So they're doing like a half season.
They're doing like a half season. Yeah. And I guess it's because a lot of the stuff that's on Netflix is actually filmed while the network programs are on hiatus.
Yeah.
So they use a lot of the filming staff and available locations, personnel.
Hey, okay, I never even thought of it like that.
Yeah, so because the hiatus season for your networks gives the ability for your summer shows that we always get.
That's right.
So I don't know if y'all happen to watch stuff like Rizzoli and Owls and things like that
just
come on.
Just enough to know who they are.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that. I never got big into that.
Well, if you do a lot of the TNT,
a
lot of their summer episodes, that is why it's done that way. And you'll also notice sometimes you'll have a lot of the actors come over and they can do bit parts and everying within these series. Because they're on hiatus from their normal.
They got a little freedom.
Exactly. So they can pop in.
I wouldn't have thought I never thought about that. That makes sense. Yeah.
The summer shows that I did kind of get into, and they were always so cheesy. I hate to say it because I don't mind that. I like that a little bit. Yeah. I like the cheese factor to be, like who was it, Bruce Campbell?
Oh yeah,
his kind of thing with Sam Raimi. Or that I love that kind of tongue in cheek. So USA Network, when they did Burn Notice,
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, dude, Bruce Campbell's doing something, and this guy is kind of like James Bond. All right, and you know, watching some of those, my wife watches the ones that I can't stand, but then pretty soon it's all the only thing on TV, so I watch it.
Yeah.
And I want to just gouge my eyes out, but then I find myself coming back and asking, hey, whatever happened to so and so? Did they ever die? That guy die?
Yep.
You know, like was it Necessary Roughness and what's the one with the doctors?
Oh, you mean the concierge doctors?
Yes.
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 Oh,
with Henry Winkler, the Fonz is on.
Oh man, he's awesome in that too.
He is awesome.
I do not know which show we were talking about now.
That
Oh gosh, I can see him in my
yes. Why is the name not there?
Dude, on the USA Network.
Yeah, it's the concierge doctors. They're up on Long Island, and they run around and they get into all this mischief, taking care of people and their problems.
Yep, and he's like the ultimate like diagnosis specialist, almost like House. Like he'll look at somebody and he'll figure it out where you didn't know there was even a problem, and inadvertently save their life. It's right. It's USA. They got burn notice.
Y'all just need to let me know so I can check this out.
I can't believe you're not helping me out on
well,
that.
the Fonz.
Man.
I know the Fonz.
Oh damn.
That's been a few years ago.
You know what they need on the internet?
It's some kind of search engine.
Like a search thing. Like
Dude,
we
we
put
should create
questions
that.
in and answers come
Yeah,
in.
and it will let us know these kind of things.
It's called Google.
Yahoo!
You know what? Now it's got a name. We can go and create
I'll check it.
It's got a name. We can create it now.
I like the fact that they actually do the summer shows because a lot of times they're a little more willing to take a risk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I remember back in
Okay, guys.
oh, what was it? You got it?
Royal Pains.
Royal Pains.
Okay.
That was a pain. Royal Pain.
I remember
to
there
get
was
the
a
name.
movie or a TV show a long time ago called that. It may have been a movie.
It's probably this show. It's still on.
Well, the show's actually good. That's one of them that we favor.
Yep.
That is the one thing. I don't know how y'all feel about y'all's cable bills, but
yeah.
I cut the DirecTV this year.
Did you really?
And my wife is like having DVR withdrawal.
Dude, I would too.
Because
Yep.
we work these odd hours. She's a nurse. She's currently at the hospital. So all her shows would get recorded, and then when she had time, she could watch them.
Yep.
So now we have to do the Netflix. We buy stuff on DVD,
Yep.
but that's the only way we can watch a lot of things now.
Are you sorry you did that, or are you?
I'm not sorry for the bill and the money
now,
I'm saving.
Sure, but what about the experience? Do you think
Well,
it hurt?
I think the thing that it has made me do is start to enjoy other things. Like, for instance, I'm getting back to my artistic, so I'm starting to paint and draw.
Oh, really?
And I'm starting to work a little bit more with what I like when I can find time, because unfortunately I don't get a lot of time.
Yeah. But this is giving you some.
It's giving me some, because now I'm not going home and I'm glued to a TV.
No, you're right about that. That's kind of a neat thing.
I like being glued to my television now. I'm not
Now-
gonna lie about it.
Now, some things, yes, but you know,
Did you think about getting Hulu?
actually no, because I don't want the extra expense.
Yeah.
Now that's only like $7 or $8 though, right?
I'm gonna
$10.
say right around 10.
Well, I was told if I got Hulu and added it to my Netflix, and then what I can stream
Yeah.
online that's already there, like, you know, my wife was complaining about missing her CBS shows. She likes NCIS and
Oh yeah,
those sort of things. Of course, last night was all the new stuff, which,
Yeah.
hey, I got to watch. I actually went home last night while I went to sleep finally. But
Yeah, right.
CBS will allow you to go to their
Website.
Yeah.
website,
Yep.
Watch it next
and you
day.
can watch
Yep.
a couple of episodes for 2 or 3 weeks or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
You can watch the latest ones at no extra charge.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like a DVR.
Yep.
So, you know, now
But you got
that-
to catch them in the first couple of
Right.
weeks, and then you switch them out.
and we always did that anyway. You know, it was just when we got time, we fire up the DVR and watch something.
Do you Apple TV or Roku or something like that to the TV?
No, not currently. But I do know one thing that we've discovered that we like a lot, and that's YouTube.
Dude, me
Yeah.
too.
I mean, I hear they have really good podcasts on YouTube.
Right here.
Yeah, imagine that.
Just saying.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to fire up
not
my
this one,
Untamed
but-
Worlds, so everybody keep your eyes out for that.
There you
Yeah.
go. Good.
But yeah, and what I found with YouTube is I'm using it for discovery. There's a lot of interesting content out there.
It's a wealth of stuff.
And
I'll be honest, I do that more than I watch my TV now.
Yeah.
I watch YouTube more than I watch my TV.
Well, the thing is with YouTube, you get to see things that you're never going to see on a network program. And when you say, for instance, like myself, I'm diving back into my oil and acrylic painting.
What kind of subjects do you normally paint?
I like landscapes. I really do like landscapes.
Oh, dude.
I am actually a builder by trade. Wanted to be an architect, but unfortunately the schooling didn't work out to get that architect. But I can design and build anything I want legally without having an architecture.
I remember you telling me that. I didn't know that's how you came about it.
So, and of course, drawing structures, designing someone's cabinetry, whatever the case, allows my artistic drawing to come out. I get to use some of what my brain likes to do.
That's cool.
But the advantage I've seen with YouTube lately is I'm going on and I'm learning techniques from other artists.
Yep.
And, you know, it's truly, you know, if the phrase monkey see, monkey do,
dude,
works, it works for YouTube, because if anybody's afraid
jiu-jitsu too.
of doing anything, if you're concerned or just want to get yourself familiar, there is a video out there
100%, dude,
that you can go find something and start getting yourself that learning experience, so you skip some of the trial and error and you skip some of the expensive lessons.
A whole bunch.
And you know, you get to see cool things. You know, the other thing in our industry is, you know, cosplay. Cosplay in our industry is huge. And you can go on here and people want to know how to make that costume.
That's right.
Yep.
And there's so many people who do very good videos on how to plan your costume.
Oh, yeah.
How to get your materials, get the correct materials, get the correct sewing thread.
Oh, yeah.
And so if anybody is anxious or has that anxiety about trying to start their cosplay experience, go look at what these other guys are doing online. Get you some ideas, and then you can go forward. And please, I know everybody likes Harley, but we got enough Harleys. Let's get some imagination out there.
Ellen, I hope you're listening to this right now, because she's talking about dressing up as Harley this year.
Oh, she ought to, though, man. She'd make a great Harley. We need another
She's going to
5
tarnish
billion.
the image of my Harley
We need the
Quinn.
5 billion. Oh, daggone.
Do not tarnish the image of my Harley Quinn.
Hey, maybe we can get her
Go
to
be Zatanna.
Maybe we can bleach her hair.
Go be Harley Quinn.
Ah,
Bleach
dude,
her
I'm
hair.
telling you, you should have seen
Cat.
Ellen. You
Cat.
should have seen the look on his eyes. He was like, "Oh yeah,
Black
we're
Cat.
doing that." Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, the costume I've always wanted to do is the Kingpin.
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah,
Dude,
man.
when I was in
I've got
Charlotte,
Let me get my
perfect
razor.
build.
I'm
That's
go
the
get
problem. My wife says I can't shave my head.
Well, here's
Go
the
get a
thing.
skinhead wig. You remember those?
As we get older, it don't grow back.
Dude, no kidding. I hate life, man.
There was a great one down at Comicon last year, and Heroes Con. Down in
What, a
Charlotte.
Kingpin?
Kingpin. Dude, he looked
Actually,
great.
he was exceptional.
It's funny. I've never been like a do-it-yourselfer as far as around the house for handyman fixing stuff. And it's funny, as a kid, my dad knew everything. So I never did anything.
Yeah.
And I was dumb enough not to go in and watch and learn by watching him do it. So I was just like, dadgummit, maybe when you grow up, you just know this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it's like me with anything's wrong with my car, anything's wrong with the house, I gotta call somebody.
Dude, but I tell you what, you go to YouTube and somebody, in
Yep.
fact, probably 20 or 30 somebodies, and you can go, dude, I mean everything. I never knew how to fix a leaky faucet. Boom, done.
Yep.
I started to look for stuff wrong around the house. It's like, all right, we're video hunting.
Yeah.
What do we need?
Well, a
Honey,
good-
you need drywall?
Well, a good example on that is I bought a Lincoln Navigator a while back, and had out the gate started having problems with the air suspension. And of course, with these new vehicles and all the electronics and all the wires, you try to figure this stuff out and you just go bonkers. Because, you know, I grew up putting 70s stuff together where it was a handful of wires and you know.
But in the 70s, you could do that. Everything's
Yeah.
computer in a
Yeah.
car now, man.
But that's where YouTube helped me out. I was able to go in here and diagnose some of these air suspension problems.
No kidding.
And fix them without having to take them over to the dealership and, of course, pay their
Absurd
$100
fee.
diagnostic fee and then their cost to fix it.
Yeah. And then their price for their parts.
And so YouTube it's a fascinating resource.
I'm gonna have to look up for my central air because it's been broken. They're trying to charge some ridiculous amount.
I'm telling you, go on YouTube.
Your central
man.
air, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know something about that.
Yeah, it's under warranty, and they're still saying it's $1,100. I'm like, yeah, that ain't right.
Oh, dude. Go talk to JD.
What are
or
they
Jay
trying to
Custer.
replace it?
Get our lawyer buddies.
I was like, that's not warranty, buddy. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there.
Hey, what'd you say? What are we, 30 minutes in?
We got about 30 to go.
Oh, 30. You want to shift gears and let's talk about some of these Netflix shows?
Some of these Netflix shows.
All right.
Daredevil, yeah.
Daredevil.
Yes.
Mhm.
And Comic Book Man,
Hey,
on point, not on point.
all I can say is it was a beautiful, beautiful done product.
Yeah.
Totally.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it yet,
If
you haven't, then why are you listening to
what's
this
your problem?
podcast?
that's
What's
probably
your
true.
problem?
But if you have not viewed this yet, you're going to be amazed that when you go through the first season, that the only time you see a Daredevil in costume is the very last panel before the show ends.
Yeah.
What did you think about
Yes.
that? Was that okay with you?
I loved it because you learn the characters.
Yeah.
I agree.
And, you see the motivations and you see how they intertwine with each other. You can see how they love each other.
Yeah.
How they would do anything.
Yep.
I mean, absolutely anything
Yeah.
to take care of their fellow brother.
Yeah.
Well, and
him and Froggy, that was
Yes,
awesome.
it was
That,
awesome.
Great
that was a
relationship.
fantastic relationship, him and his buddy Foggy.
Yeah.
And then, of course,
Froggy,
everybody
not
was
Froggy.
excited for season 2 because
Yeah.
now we have the Punisher coming in.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah.
See,
And-
what I loved about the end of season 1, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I love that at that last panel, you see him in the suit. It made me just I need to see the next season to see him in that
Exactly.
suit.
Dude, and not only that
Loved
last
it.
fight scene delivered because they built you so up to a crescendo. It's like they got to throw down.
Yeah.
And then he shows up in the ultimate outfit like that. You're like, this just turned into the Marvel world,
Yeah.
on steroids. I was so tickled with that.
Yeah.
Well, Daredevil happens to be one of my favorite characters. It
Never
was
read
one of
him
them I
growing up.
chased. And, I was always a solo hero versus team.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man, Daredevil,
Yeah.
Batman, Moon Knight, that was the stuff that,
Yeah, we were talking about Moon Knight earlier.
Drew me
You
in.
read Moon Knight?
Yeah,
Anything? Really
and,
loving it.
and actually Moon Knight was one of those that, it's the cheap Batman.
Yeah.
But with him
With a
being
personality disorder.
with him being a schizophrenic
Yeah.
and bipolar sort of thing and switching personalities and all, I believe a lot of people can relate to that because they actually see that in real life where people have these quirks or they have that bipolar especially. That's a
bipolar,
big
yeah.
thing.
That's big. Yeah.
So when you look at a character like Moon Knight, which is coming to Netflix soon, from
What, Moon Knight is?
they have announced that they've got that along with Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and
I did not know. Oh, man. See,
yeah.
that's why it's good to have the comic man in
See,
here breaking
I
the
didn't know
news
that
for
until
us.
He told me today. On that. I
Well,
was like,
Power
oh my
Man's
gosh.
getting ready to come out.
Now, I know that one. I'm looking forward to that.
They're also working toward doing a Defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that too.
So
I did not know about Moon Knight.
But
and-
Moon Knight is actually
Cloak and
part
Dagger.
of the Defenders.
Oh, awesome.
So if you've ever looked at the Defenders series, Moon Knight comes in and in the early 40s on the issue runs there. Moon
Now-
Knight becomes part of the team and stays there through
I
the
read the
book.
Defenders,
Yeah.
but I read the, older ones where Doctor Strange, the Hulk,
Hulk, right. That
You
was
know,
the beginning of it, exactly.
Namor,
Mhm.
Neymar.
and it's funny
I hope
because,
at some point he gets some love.
dude,
Namor.
I think he would, depending on how the Aquaman movie goes, because they're going to have a lot of challenges with how do you film an entire thing underwater with dialogue. Somebody actually made the comment. It's like maybe they'll do speech bubbles.
Well,
I said, man, that's a great idea right there.
they could always do the dub over sort of,
Right,
narrative.
right.
And of course, if you actually look at some of the environments, they actually go in the comic. They actually go under the water, but then they go into a air
and
cavern.
yeah.
Right.
That's kind of what I was hoping they would do a whole bunch of too.
Mm-hmm. And you're talking about Aquaman, and
Will he ride the seahorse?
the quick little
No.
the quick little scene that was in the Batman versus Superman movie actually gives me a lot of hope.
Me too.
That they can do well with him, because I thought the costuming was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought it looked decent for the quick clip we got, and so.
And they got an actor who is going to take and garner respect, whereas Aquaman is the guy who talks to fish and gets beat up on. Made jokes.
As we know with Big Bang Theory, they really
Aquaman
hurt on
sucks.
Aquaman,
and it's too bad because I absolutely love the character.
There's a lot of good reading in the series.
Oh, there's a lot of
good
really
reading.
good
Now, I
reading.
didn't read any of the New 52, but I think
I did,
Troy,
and I
Troy.
loved it.
Yeah, Troy was telling me that was really good.
And the thing too, people always sometimes hate on environmentalists and things like that.
Oh yeah.
But Aquaman and Animal Man and Swamp Thing are 3 series that
Environmentalists, right.
that DC did that bring out that protect your environment.
That's right. A little social consciousness.
Crusade for the future. Don't abuse our resources, sort of thing. So
that's right.
Any of the folks out there who really support that sort of thinking, you may very well like to read some of these series and really enjoy them.
Well, it's like you were saying with Moon Knight, with a personality disorder or even just a bipolar, challenge in someone's life. I remember thinking the best thing about Spider-Man was that here was this kid. He was just like a small, weak kid who couldn't, at one point in their life, connect with that. And then all of a sudden, he wasn't a mutant. He got bit by a spider in an accident, so there was hope for us. Yeah. I remember thinking, when I was like 7 or 8, I was like, okay, the mutant powers start coming around puberty. I got till maybe 13 before, I might have optic blast out the eyes or start bamfing.
And then you discovered your mutant ability was to eat everything in the refrigerator.
Scare your son.
Dude, yeah. It's so funny when I think about my eating habits as a kid. We just did not know anything about, about nutrition. And I was like, dude, if it was in the house, it didn't last until Mom got home.
When we were growing up too, you got to remember we got that beautiful thing called the microwave.
Oh, dude, you remember that?
Yeah.
And the
And
Schwan's
pizza
pizzas.
rolls.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, those pizzas.
My mom would buy those things, and then she'd come home. I mean, like the next day, and the bag would be in the trash. She's like, "What did you do?" Gained 5 pounds, I think. I think I gained 5.
My son now, even to this day, he's a grown man, but Lord help, a gallon of milk and cereal in the house.
Oh gosh,
dude.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you give me some cereal, I will about destroy a box in one setting.
Dude.
It's one of those things I can't stop.
You're making me feel so much better because I said, I can't. This is a problem. That's me. Sunday night cereal is what we do at my family.
Yeah.
Sunday night, that's what we have for dinner.
Oh, I remember you telling me as a kid. Dude, you got up Saturday morning.
Saturday morning cartoons.
We had actual cartoons.
Yeah, we actually. Hey, and we only had. Well, actually, we had 2 channels back when we were growing up that actually put them on.
Yeah.
One major network decided to do other things.
I do remember when they did that. I was like, what is this blasphemy?
You had to watch Thundercats and Smurfs.
Yeah.
Dude, did you get up early enough to watch the black and white George Reeves Superman?
Yes, I did.
You see, because he's my age. I know that,
I have been.
But I actually have it on DVD.
Oh, I love it.
I have been one of those early risers that don't make a difference what time I go to bed. By 5 o'clock in the morning, my eyelids open.
Even today?
Even today.
Gosh, I am not put together like that.
And I mean, I'll work in this business and I'll work hard. I'll go home at 11 o'clock at night after I close the store or whatever. I'll wind down because you can't just go to sleep. You just can't lay down and you're gone. So
now I can literally close my eyes.
That's
and
the
before
military. You were trained.
I'm telling you, and I can.
I can't do that. I cannot do that.
We used to be riding on cattle cars, literally leaning forward so that your Kevlar helmet was resting on the front sight post of your M16, and on this cattle car, like where cows are transported and tons of us, you could be standing up, you could sleep for those 10 minutes before you got back to the base. Because you were like, I need a nap.
I had a friend who was in the military, and when we were on a construction job, we had, of course, 30-minute lunch. And we'd go up in the house, and he would quickly eat his sandwich. You know, it might take him 5 minutes to eat. And then he would just lean back up against the wall of the house we were building and gone. And he always told me, just, hey, hit me when lunch is over, wake me up.
Dude.
And I mean, he could go, I'm just sitting there staring at him going, how in the world do you do that?
Dude, not only that, I could get up and be literally ready to roll. Because we would be like that in a perimeter, and they'd say, get up, let's go. And you'd be walking, because you might not sleep every night.
Right.
So you'd be going like, all right, we walk 3 hours, take like a 30-minute siesta, walk another half hour, take a 45 minutes siesta, and then 4 hours. I mean, dude, it's crazy.
I wish there was some way you could train yourself to do that without going into the military.
Yeah.
Dude, if I'd have known that,
I was like, with me now, I was like, I'll lay there, and I'm so tired, I'll just about fall asleep. Something happens, I'm no longer tired for the next 2 hours.
And you know what that is? Your phone beeps because somebody messaged you on Facebook.
It's either that, I have to go to the bathroom, something, little thing, and I was like a noise, and I'm like, nah, I'm not tired now. Like, what in the world?
As I get older, because I used to be a night owl where I would stay up all night. That's when I would read comics and watch the shows I wanted to see, or YouTube, and I would be up till like 2 a.m. and have to get up like around 6:30, and I did that for years. I can't do it anymore.
Yep.
Midnight's the latest I'm staying. Now, Friday and Saturday, I can still do that. But I've got to have at least 6 hours of sleep if I'm doing concrete and then martial arts all day. I was like, no.
Well, but, during the summer, it's so hot, your body's zapped anyway.
Oh, and when I come in that air conditioning, oh, my gosh. It's like there's a magnet in the chair. It's like, I can't get up. Can't get up. Hey, jump back on the Netflix stuff. Daredevil Season 2. Great things where they added the Punisher. Fantastic rendition. Brought back Wilson Fisk. Still did his thing. Brought in Elektra.
Dude, he was bad in that, too. He was a bad man.
You talking about Fisk?
Yeah,
dude,
Fisk,
he was the man.
It was cool that they worked him in the way they did.
Yeah.
Totally, because
I did not see that coming.
I didn't. You almost thought like, the old Batman TV shows, like, okay, that was last week.
Right.
This week is, Mr.
Same
Freeze.
bad time, same bad channel.
Yeah. So to see him come in, I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really
I thought
good.
that was really clever how they worked that in. And, Elektra was, one, stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
But all the actors that they get up on there are very skilled.
Oh, they're good.
They have
class.
learned their motions. They have control of their body, and it's amazing that they have managed to pull that off in a sense that not everybody's running around in pajamas.
Right.
Yeah. Old Spider-Man.
Well, yeah.
One of the worst things ever.
But
I loved it.
From the 70s.
But the fact that these Netflix programs are A, very popular, B, now very successful.
Yeah. Now they're bringing in some money.
And C, they cross a very wide audience. And the fact that all those factors have led now to Disney seeing, okay, we can go in here and take some of our characters and we can really put a spotlight on them.
Which is great.
In a way that we could not do on the silver screen, because you could have never put an ounce of that content from Daredevil into a 2-hour movie.
There's no way.
And you would not have felt for
depth.
the characters.
You wouldn't have had the depth.
Right. You wouldn't have had the depth. And what's really cool about Netflix is I can use that as well now when I'm explaining to people how actual comic book reading is. Because, everybody's in this want it now, movie cinematic 2-hour done thing.
And now you're thinking serialized.
And now I can say, look, you like the Daredevil because they develop it. You see how the different storylines intertwine and go along. And this is the same method that the comic book uses.
Yeah, right.
Because you could read 6 or 10 issues and it'll be about one or two main points.
That's right.
But you always have that backstory that's being developed as you go to lead to the future stories.
Yep.
So it brings you along, and you get that sense of, I can feel, I can empathize, I can
I agree
relate.
with that.
So that's
they did a really good job with that with the Daredevil series too. You really got a full kind of view of all of those characters. You know, from different angles, their relationships, their challenges, even their evolution. It's like, that's a neat way.
I love the way they brought Wilson Fisk background in and showed how his childhood was.
You almost felt bad for him.
You did. I did.
Yeah.
Because as a child, I was bullied.
Right.
So showing that he was bullied, and then as he became a big boy,
oh boy,
he became the basher.
Yeah.
And people look at today's society, and even when we were growing up, the bullies would bully.
Oh yeah.
But then a lot of times you would see the kids who got bullied on at a later time frame, they would then become the bully.
Yeah.
And seeing that as part of Wilson's development in there, and you see his desire to be able to protect himself and anybody he associated with.
Yeah, even the girl that he developed the relationship with.
And he, even when he was being taken down and he knew he was going to be taken down,
he wanted to take care of her.
He wanted to take care of Vanessa.
Yeah.
So, it shows, real life. I mean, we all want to take care of our own. And, we don't really wish bad things on people, but, in every situation,
but you do have
there's a
justice.
point to where we could all cross the line.
Oh yeah, I agree.
To protect our own.
Yeah.
So
never be so uppity to say, you're too good for, or I would never. It's like, no, you don't know.
Yeah, exactly right.
And that's just, like a lot of people with the Netflix, when Punisher came in, there was people who were complaining about the guns, all the shooting, all the violence from the guns.
It's like, have you read the book?
Yeah. And but it's the people who are screaming about gun control and everything every day doing this. But I would challenge anybody that if you look and you think and you truly analyze, everybody could pick a gun up and defend themselves.
100%.
Yep.
Everybody, not just the people we pay to try to protect us.
Yep.
Or people who had training in the past.
Exactly. Everybody has that point where they're going to take care. They're going to take care, whatever means.
Yep.
And if somebody's coming at you with bullets, you're going to return the bullets.
Yep.
So,
I tell you what, it's funny because I never thought about. I did think about it, but I never heard any backlash about the violence that was in it. Because a lot of the shows that are not on the networks, like AMC's Walking Dead, and then, earlier when they were starting to do this kind of thing, like with The Sopranos, and all of these shows that were going off of network, HBO and Starz.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad, Spartacus.
Spartacus, yep.
So you were having a lot of gratuitous violence and sex and, just for the sake of, hey, we have no rules. We can do whatever. And I never thought of it as being, that big of a deal, because I was like, look, if you don't want to watch it, you don't watch it, But with Daredevil, I always wondered, or Punisher, all right, this is a comic book, which is typically thought of by the uninformed as a medium for children. And they're like, what are you doing? It's like, okay, no, this is a graphic novel. It's for adults. It's not for kids.
And that was the folks who came out with the concern.
Yeah, because
was the ones that did not understand that the medium is not for just 6 to 8 year olds.
Right, right. That's Marvel now, right?
The problem with, I guess, the majority of viewing on the comic industry is that it is childish. Unfortunately, or I should say, fortunately, for those of us in the know,
right?
We understand that the comic medium is a beautiful medium. It's a way to tell stories. It's beautiful artwork. There is a range of comics from kids all the way through adults, adult themes. It's something there for everybody.
Yeah.
So, and you know, anybody happen to be listening to this, it's a wonderful tool to get young kids reading.
That is exactly true.
That's how I started reading.
A lot of people don't understand that it's literature too. It's
Exactly.
not just it's like a picture book.
And if your kid has a short attention span and you see them jumping all over the place and you can't get them to read a book, believe me, you can get them to read a comic because you can read a comic in 15, 20 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they can move on to something else. It's not an overwhelming chore.
Butterfly brains are like, hey, they got a lot of new pictures every time I turn the page. Hey, before we go, Lo, let's talk about, we got Comicon coming up, right?
Roanoke Valley Comic Con.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you give us some details on that so we can kind of give you a plug?
Well, the show is returning October the 22nd.
Woohoo!
And we are at our Tanglewood Mall location. We actually have an old store. Stephen Barry's used to occupy it. It's about 50,000 square feet. We're using half of that, and we're having a blast. We got a cool guest coming in this time from The Walking Dead. Amber Dawn Fox is going to be there, and she was Officer Bello. She was one of the group that was in the hospital when Rick and them had to storm in to rescue their own.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
That was some good stuff right there.
That was some really good stuff.
Powerful.
This lady is very nice. She's very welcoming. She loves to talk to people, take pictures. So anybody coming to want to hang out and chat with her, she is the most gentlest person I've seen. She has other projects she has done, and she's working on projects. So,
Cool.
inquiring minds can pick her brain.
Good.
As far as our guest artists and creators, we have Highburn Studios coming. Those guys consist of Michael Watkins, Lyle Pollard, Kenny King, John Anderson, and Kevin Sharp. Kevin Sharp is actually a lot of artwork with the Marvel Studios, so properties. If anybody's ever played Marvel Legendary, the card game, he's just done a lot of artwork for that. He's does a lot of artwork for their advertising and things of that nature. Me, being a Dolphins fan, which is really cool.
I'm sorry. Was that allowed?
Well, NFL and Marvel got together and did a series of superhero guys for the teams. So all 32 teams had their little superhero.
Were they known heroes?
No, they're
made up.
They're player heroes.
Got it.
So they were like, the Dolphins player, the Steelers player, Redskins player. But they had their own kind of superhero figure made up from that look.
Kidding.
And it turned out that Kevin Sharp actually did the Miami Dolphins one, and I own the original artwork.
Dude.
How long ago was that?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, because I remember back in like the early 90s or late 90s when ProSet come out, they had some art cards and stuff like that as well.
That's cool.
And of course we got other creators coming as well. So it's a lot of different things. Even what I call, I probably shouldn't label them tchotchke, but non-comic book creators, people who, we got one lady who comes in and she does glassware. So she's got comic book heroes, other things on glassware, really cool looking stemware.
No kidding.
You can get you the most awesomest pair of martini glasses.
Dude, that's awesome. I saw that one time down at Heroes, and I've never seen him again. And I was like, dude, that's too bad. I always wanted.
Well, that same lady that was in Heroes will be at our Roanoke show.
Fantastic! That's
awesome. And then of course we got people who do fantasy under glass. God does things from like Hobbit looking domes of, with scenes under it. He does butterflies, so you can get the butterfly scene things
Dude,
he does
no
under it.
kidding.
And
Are you
we
gonna have artists that will do like $15 sketches type of thing?
absolutely. A lot of the artists bring prints. So if you want to, if you're a quick flyer, you don't have time to wait for somebody to actually draw you something. You can have them personalize a print or something they've done to you.
Cool.
This is what Troy was looking for down in Heroes. Couldn't find anybody doing any good quick sketches.
Everybody wanted it for too much money, and I was like,
way too much
Well,
money.
that.
Heroes is kind of a different show. It's a very expensive 3-day event, and every artist has a make or break point that they want to hit. And if they're charging $150 for 11 by 17 quick drawing, they figure I can do X amount in the time that I have, and I have to focus on that.
I got you.
They don't have time to do the $15 and $20 headshots or whatever that, even I like. Who wouldn't want someone like Mike Grail doing a quick Green Arrow for you?
Yeah.
And you get the upper bust or whatever shot.
Who cares? It's from his pen, and it's real, and it's right in front of
and
you.
like me,
Exactly.
I actually went to Mike Grail because I'm doing something kind of cool. I'm getting all my favorite artists to do me 11 by 17s of Moon Knight. And my goal is to make an office situation where I have all these lined up, and somebody can walk in and they can see all these different artists that they know, and they can see their version of Moon Knight.
That's really neat.
That is awesome.
That's what we were one of the things I was gonna ask D if he wanted to do for the podcast is on the back wall here when we start videoing.
Yeah.
I have done something kind of similar to that with all the artists. I had them like one year do stuff. I was like, I don't care what you do. I wanted to have any superhero. You can even make up a hero, but the theme is concrete. I said I do
There
a
you go.
concrete company. And then the next one I did, here's my business card for the edge of my logo. Anything that you can work into that. And I was thinking, I've got some really neat things that I was going to show you that are really cool, but they're original artworks.
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of shows where you can go meet the artist and you can actually get original stuff, either that they've already drawn and then you like it, or you commission them to get stuff.
Right.
And for those folks who come, and let's say the artist is not in a position to complete a commission for you that day. All the artists that I know are very gracious. They will take your information and they can do your project a week,
At home.
2 weeks, whatever later, and they can ship it to you, and you still get that down the road. You can tell them to personalize it how you want, and they'll take care of all of that for you.
I had a couple of artists that told me to do, that they could do that, and I didn't do it because I was like, man, I don't know, man. That maybe they don't send it to me. That's cool. I mean, you're saying
there's very few artists who do not come in and complete. But you can find that information out fairly quick on the boards.
Right.
But as far as other things we got going on, obviously, we're a big comic book show.
Yes.
Yep.
We have dealers coming in from all up and down the eastern seashore here, and they are bringing the goodies from the old 10-cent, Golden Age books all the way up to what came out last week.
Oh, dude.
So we have a huge variety of if you're looking for that particular book, you want to come in.
I'm a Silver Age fan. Everything.
Well, if you got to have that mad
Submariner.
love that Mr. D here loves so much,
Yeah.
I'm sure you could possibly find it. If you're interested in Spider-Gwen right now is a big hit.
Spider-Man is hot.
And a lot of people can come in, and you can be able to pick up a few things like that. Hey, the cool thing there too is if you like Spider-Gwen or whatever, you can go over here and ask your artist to do you your little pinup. And then you got something that is yours.
Yeah.
This is one of a kind. It is yours.
Yeah.
And that
I love
means a lot
Yeah, I do
to a collector.
Yep.
In fact, it might inspire some young folks to pursue their artistic abilities and come out here and make their own drawing.
Right. Start the next generation.
And if you're a toy collector, we have plenty of toy dealers coming. So if you like action figures, if you like the old Amigos from our 70s childhoods, you know, they will be there. And of course, something that we're doing is costume contest. We're doing it for 15 and under, 16 and over.
I love the cosplayers.
The cosplayers are great. We love to have everybody coming in.
It makes it, I mean, a real event, you know.
And then the other thing that we found, our biggest concern for some parents were the young kids didn't have anything to do.
Yeah, right.
So we have some new stuff coming in this time to help in that department. We have face painting.
Oh, yeah.
We have some face painters coming in, so they'll be able to take your child and paint up a little.
Get a Spider-Man face mask.
I'm sure they're going to have all sorts of cute little designs you can get, things like that. And then the other thing to help ease their little minds, we actually have a balloon animal artist coming. So they'll be able to have balloon animals done.
There you go.
And can walk around with, you know, a big old hot dog or whatever else, you know, a few bunnies on them or maybe a parrot. So, yeah, we've expanded it, and, you know, this is a family show. Yeah. Good. This is one where the grandparents come with the parents and they bring the kids, and it's something for everyone.
Oh, very
because a lot of people think that I've been to how many shows now? I've been to yours, but when they moved to Tangle, there are people thinking, well, it's not going to be any good there. It is amazing there.
Really?
Last year I was there, and it was so many people, and it was great. So many people dressed up. Everybody, you didn't see anybody there leave without a smile on their face.
Oh, very cool.
And it's cheap to get in. It's
$5.
Yeah, $5.
That's perfect.
10 and under for the kids are free with a paid admission.
Yeah.
We do offer VIP for those guys that's got to get in there and get their stuff ahead of everybody else and get the best selection. That's actually just $10. They get in an hour early.
What does that do? Oh, an hour early. All right.
So it's normally 10 to 4, 10 to 5?
Our normal hours are 11 to 5. VIP gets in at 10 o'clock.
10, okay.
And, you know, the whole thing here is we try to make the show work for the serious collector as well as the serious fun person.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, good.
You know, our show has done a really good job of growing into that.
Yep.
It's been 8 years now I've been doing this twice a year, and it's slowly morphed into a exciting, fun-filled day for everyone.
Yep.
Dude, I love it because you keep going in another like 8 years, you know, who knows how big this thing could be. I will have to or I won't have to keep going to Charlotte.
Yeah.
For Heroes Con. I was like, Dad, I'm going to Untamed Worlds, man. Yeah. That's the one.
Well,
is that the name of the con? The Untamed
it's the Roanoke Valley Comic Con.
Roanoke Valley Comic Con.
And yes, Untamed Worlds, that is my store. We sponsor it. We are looking for more sponsors. We're hoping to get a few stores in Roanoke to work with us in the future. And I would love to think Roanoke could put on a big 2 or 3 day event in the future.
That'd be cool.
We actually are in the works to do a 2-day next year in April. We're going to see what happens with this one, and you know, and see how everything works with the mall, because the mall was just sold. So we know this show is in good shape, but I don't know what the intentions are of the new management.
What their plans
down the road. So, you know, I hope I never lose this space. It works great. I have ability to grow.
Yeah.
But, you know, we just have to take it one day at a time.
That's right. That's right.
And the Simply Incredible podcast is planning on being there, doing some videos. So maybe by then we'll have some live streaming.
Dude, dare we say video?
Dare we say, yes.
With faces made for radio?
Yes.
And the cool thing with that in mind is you can sit there and you can video the guys doing your original artwork.
Yep, that's right.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can go over and talk to Amber Dawn Fox, and y'all can
Yep.
do a live stream.
Yep.
Do an interview.
Mhm.
That's right. And of course, anyone else we have, I'm sure, for the most part, as long as you won't take it away from too much of their money making opportunity,
Exactly.
we'll be more than happy to
Short,
be part.
short and sweet, right?
Here's the thing: when you go to these events, most of the people are really giving of their time.
Yes, they are.
They're not gonna be like, "No, you suck. Get away from me."
no.
That's my job.
The thing with shows is if creators are there, if guests are there, they're there to meet you, the public.
Yep.
Yeah, they want to
And
connect.
they want to meet you.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you're going to come in and you're going to get the cold shoulder or anything like that.
Yeah.
If that's the case, they never come to start with.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if they don't want to deal with the public, they just don't come out to these sort of gatherings. So everybody who comes is marketing themselves. So they're going to be as pleasant and outgoing as they can be. And they actually enjoy questions. If you come up and ask an artist, hey, what's your favorite ink pens, things that you use to do your inking, they're going to quickly show you what they like, what they prefer.
Yeah, they're interested.
They're
in
proud
that.
of what they use. They're proud of their tools.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity to pass the art along. It's an opportunity to teach someone else so that they can, hopefully down the road, get their own going. So come on out and have a great time. I mean, it's simple that.
I'm looking forward to it. October 22nd.
Yeah.
Tanglewood Mall, Roanoke, Virginia. It's going to be fun.
Dude,
It's going to be fun.
Absolutely.
if you have any questions, you can call the store at Untamed Worlds. Look on the website.
You can
And
go
I'm
to
gonna
Roanoke
put-
Valley Comic Con
I'm going to put information down below so you guys
.com.
can see everything.
and or untamedworlds.com. We're on Facebook. And please make a day of it.
Yeah.
I think you will cherish it. I think your family will cherish it, and it will be one of those times that you will be amazed.
Yeah. Josh takes his son every year, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
have a blast. They have
Oh,
a
yeah.
blast. So
Plus, it's good. We have friends in Roanoke, so
Yeah.
it's a good chance for us all to connect with Dennis.
yep,
and-
Dennis and some of his guys,
some of
down
his
there,
crew
we
up
get
there.
to talk with them.
And believe me, we have people who travel. I've got folks that come in from Tennessee, Kentucky, the southern part of PA because they can come down the interstate quickly.
Yep.
North Carolina. So people travel for this show because it's such a great show.
Yeah.
Dude, fantastic.
So
October
if you're living
22nd.
here in the backyard, y'all need to come.
That's right.
Dude, that's I mean, literally a month away.
Yep.
1
Put
month.
it, put it on your calendar. Mark it down.
Well, by the time this comes out, it'll be slightly under a month. It's coming out on the 23rd.
You guys put this out tonight.
We're recording on the 21st.
Don't make a liar of me.
So I'm excited for it. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, thanks for having me over here, guys. And
thanks for being on.
Enjoyed it, man. It was
Yeah.
good to actually sit and talk to you.
Yeah.
we'll have to do this some
We
more.
didn't have to ring
Yeah.
somebody up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But that's all we got today. Roanoke Valley Comic Con. Excited for it. Anything else, guys?
No, I think that's good. We'll see you over there.
Absolutely, guys. Thank
And
y'all.
You guys have an incredible day.
See ya.